Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Four Horseman Figura Obscura Headless Horseman. This is the fan channel exclusive or toy store exclusive, whatever you want to know. This is the one that glows in the dark. And if you look here, I don't even know what it looks like. Yeah, I've seen some pretty photos and everything, but I haven't seen exactly how it looks. So we're going to kind of cut this thing open right now. You're going to see what I see in live time, and I gotta say, I did just get this. I am so excited. One reason why you may see me get videos out so quickly is because when I do my reviews, I'm just excited to open these pieces of plastic. They're just so much fun, and while you're doing reviews, and I like things to be firsthand, well, I just can't wait. So I got dinner going on downstairs. Just got a little bit of lasagna in the oven. So I have a little bit of time to start this video, and then we'll probably finish after dinner, because I can only imagine how much is actually in this. So here we go. Opening this bad boy up. And honestly, I don't know how it opens up. So I'm barely in screen. This thing is large. It's actually bigger than the Trouble Bubble. Headless Horseman here. And oh, look at that. That is beautiful. So they give you, it's magnetized, what is the backdrop for the Headless Horseman. That looks really awesome. Look at that. Look at that tree. You can use this if you want for any of your Army of Darkness, Evil Dead stuff. Look at that. Yeah, a little Jawa in there. Just kidding, it's not a Jawa, but it definitely does look like a Jawa, doesn't it? Whew, that is awesome. A Headless Horseman. I'm not going to read all this because you guys have heard me read, and I'm not the greatest reader. I can read. I just don't read good on film or on camera. So anyway, look at that. Headless Horseman. That looks awesome. I don't know if this glows, but we're going to check some other glow-in-the-darks when we're done. So let's put this down at the bottom. And I'm going to show you what we have here. Look at that. Oof. So you have the Headless Horseman, two different heads, two different head sculpts there. Both supposed to glow in the dark. Awesome looking figure. A giant horse. Remember, these are 6-inch scale, so they will fit with your Marvel Legends, your G.I. Joe Classified, different things like that. Here we have a little bit more. We got the head down there. There we got the back shot of it. Oof. I cannot wait to break this thing open. Now, I'm not going to spend the time. You can kind of look and you can see how it is stored. It's going to be packaged really well. And if it's anything like the other Four Horsemen stuff, you're going to be able to repackage it. But this is the Figura Obscura. It is available. It is pretty pricey. It runs $140, but you're getting the horse and the figure. And if you like Halloween, you like glow in the dark, I think this is something that you're going to enjoy. I wanted it because it was the glow in the dark. Now, this was the second one. This was the repaint. And most people said this one they think actually looks better. So let's get into this, but before I do, if you like the content that I'm giving you, if you want to see more Four Horsemen stuff when I do get it, or hell, you like G.I. Joe Classified, if you don't know, I do a lot of that. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a new video. So let's get into this. All right, I'm going to try and do this best that I can. This is the insert that's on the inside, so you can see a nice little bridge. Another backdrop if you want to use, but this is just pure cardboard. It's not the same as what you actually get on the outside. So, if you want to use that, if you like it, you are more than welcome to. Now, first off, let's look at the figure right away, because as I opened it up, the leg kind of popped off, but I do believe that's how they're supposed to be, so. Looking here, you can see kind of where the peg is. I'm going to see if this thing just kind of pops right back in, or if I actually have an issue. Now, remember, this thing just came here. I'm in Michigan, and it is
like 27, 23 degrees. I don't know why I said 27, 23, 23, 25 degrees. Somewhere right around there. Hold on, let me see if I can get rid of that. All right. So looking at this figure here, I'm going to be very gentle with it because I'm going to try not to warm him up. He has been sitting in the house, so he doesn't feel very cold right now. You can kind of move the legs out here. Again, Mythic Legions are not known for their articulation. Now, his leg just kind of fell right off. I think I'm going to have to stop this and heat this thing up because I want to be more careful with this figure because it is so expensive. Look how bad I am. I'm like, I want to do this, but then I just automatically start moving him. So there's his leg. He does have the ball joint at the foot here. Again, I haven't warmed anything up other than room temperature. His leg does move back and forth. His knee moves. Again, so far it's looking pretty good other than the leg kind of coming off, but these things are meant to be swapped. Now, I've never messed with any Mythic Legions to swap, but the leg seems to be staying on right now. I guess the test will be as time goes on because, yeah, that is kind of loose. I'm going to make sure that this is not a problem before I go ahead and contact BBTS or, complain about it. So you have the top that kind of rocks. Ooh, arms are very stiff, but not that bad. Just gotta be careful with it. And they're very adamant that, hey, you know what? Use some heat if need be. And I'm just kind of showing you that you don't always need it, but don't be scared to use it. So T-pose, this looks like this is probably the best that he's going to get. Again, articulation is not what the Four Horsemen are known for. There we have your elbow joint. Elbow does move, hand moves freely. What the Four Horsemen are known for is their amazing sculpts, their paint, and just quickly looking at this, I'd say I'm kind of getting all of that right away. So let's look at this head really quick. I mean, that looks very demonstrous. I mean, it looks awesome. Whatever's on the inside of all that goo inside that pumpkin right there. And then you got the top up here. He's wearing his little scarf. And so here's where the cape is going to plug into, it looks like. You get some nice design here. Paint looks really nice. Now, the only thing they did was they used this purple here. And they just did a little bit of paint spots. But again, they're where they're supposed to be. Something that you don't get from every manufacturer. Nice little belt with some pockets. Paint looks really good. Again, can't really complain about anything like that. You get down to the boots here. On the back, purple. Nice paint apps. Again, I'm going to continue to say that. I do apologize. But everything looks good. I don't see any run over on the paint. And to be honest, this one is known. I mean, this one is made for the glow in the dark. So let's go ahead and take a look at this head here and kind of see how the ball joint's gonna drop right in. So he has the same goo, but it looks like it's all kind of coming out, and this is all gonna be your glow in the dark, and that's why I have this light on here. It's going to be interesting to see what actually glows and what doesn't, and how good certain things glow with all these figures here, because we're going to turn the lights off. Anyway, looking at that, I mean, it looks awesome. The paint on the stem, the wash over it, everything looks really good. And this is the head I definitely want on him. So let's be very gentle, and let's just see. All right, so the plug just kind of comes out like this. And not really sure what everything is here. So this is your neck peg. Ouch. All right, so there we go. This I might have to loosen up. Might have to heat up, I mean, just to get that thing out. Again, I'm not going to try and be He-Man and break it, but there we go. So that popped out. Again, the wash on it. I love the paint on the inside, and you can see you don't really see any issues. It's painted properly. I can only imagine like how much time that type of stuff is going to take to do. So let's see if we can pop this thing in here. Now, I've never messed around with this type of stuff with Mythic Legion, so I'm definitely going to go heat this thing up. I'm going to put this to the side. Let's take a look at the horse. Then we'll go heat this up, put everything back on it, or put everything on it. I guess we should look at the cape here. So here's the cape. Okay, so the cape doesn't plug in there. The cape just goes around. That's why all of this kind of comes off, so you can get this around it. All right. You got the sword. Looks really good. It looks like it has maybe 2 paint apps on it. You got this bronze, the black, and then obviously the silver blade. It is straight. It is not too sharp. It's not like a NECA where it feels like it's going to poke you. But if you try and flex it too much, it will snap, because that's what this is. All right. Here we got our hands. I know I said I was going to look at the horse, but I got derailed here, so. Yeah. Hand comes off. They have very small pegs, kind of like a Mezco, but these are stiffer than Mezco. So I was trying to figure out what that is, and what that is right there is the peg, so you can hold one of the heads. That's going to pop in here. So you're going to be able to hold one of the heads on. I definitely want him holding an extra head, because I want to be showing off as much as possible. So they do plug in pretty nicely. And then with this hand, I already got the hand that's going to hold the sword, so I'm going to leave that on there. This here, it just kind of plugs, it comes out, plugs right back in. So this is the whole other accessories, because they do a lot of repainting, mixing and matching characters, the same as, you know, Classified, Marvel Legends, you know, Valaverse, all those companies. That is what they do. That is how they keep their costs down. So looking at this, it's got to go down like this, right? But how do you get that? Well, I'm going to put this right here. So quickly, we're going to look at it here. This is a real chain. All right. Got the orange on the inside. The brass looking right here. Black cape. Again, I'm not a big Mythic Legions guy. I don't buy a whole bunch. I only have a few. Every single one of the Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions that I got, I think they're absolutely amazing. But you kind of got to bear with me when I'm doing something like this. All right, so I put the chain over it. I wonder if I can get it to move down without breaking. There we go. So I just put the chain over this when I plug this back in, and then I just nice and loosely just kind of bent this, and then I got the cape to sit on just like that. So what I'm going to go do right now is I'm going to go heat this up, because I want to put this head on it along with the head on the hand. All right, so now I'm back, and this is how I want them set up for the most part. Sword went in really easily. Plugging the head in was no problem with the neck joint, but heat up both heads. That's all that I did, and I use a blow dryer. Now I'm more of a fan of using hot water, not boiling water, just hot water. But when it comes to something like this, I'd rather not get it wet if I don't need to. But the blow dryer sometimes can be kind of difficult, because your hand kind of gets too hot and different things like that while you're trying to heat it up, and it just doesn't heat stuff up evenly. But here's how he looks. Now, you can change the neck out, and you can put Dubin, I forget exactly how to say it, or any other Mythic Legion. So you can have this as an actual character, if that's what you're looking for. So let's put him to the side right there, so we can still see him on camera. And now let's take a look at our horse, and just awesome. I guess I should also look at a couple of these things, and I don't know where they go. That's the one thing with Mythic Legions that I never understand, is where certain things go. So, if you do know, please tell me in the comments. So I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like something that he'd be casting as maybe magical. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. So, here is... Oh, okay, so you have two different manes in the horse. It looks like this probably pops right off. So, I guess I should show you that he does come with a few hands. So you do have holding hands for either hand, or for either hand. Kind of like a grabbing hand, or a conjuring hand, I guess you want to say. And then this looks more like a sword hand. But you can do whatever you want with it, because, hey, use our imagination. All right, so let's look at the horse. I have not looked at any horses or any animals from their stuff. So, quickly, I don't know if I'm going to need to warm this up. Looks like the legs just move back and forth like this. No problem. You have the knee. They move nice and smoothly. Not really feeling any issue. I didn't feel like I needed to warm them up. Oops. The hoofs here. Alright, so they do move back and forth, as you can see here. The hoofs kind of do the same thing, so you're going to be able to get them flat. Now, the hoofs, I do believe, are also supposed to glow. And this definitely feels colder than the rest of it. So, his hind legs, you can kind of see where it goes. So he can move back and forth. The inside of his legs going this way. Again, not really having any issues, and he does feel cold, and it looks like there's a lot more room that I can move him right there. They do swivel back and forth, and we're obviously going to want to get the hooves all onto the ground or in a walking position, something like that. He stands really nice. So, the head can kind of swivel back and forth. Or the neck, shall I say. So he does move a little bit here. Here you have the mane, which pops right off. So there's the mane if you don't want him in a running position or maybe the angry position. And then we're going to take this here, and now it looks like he is galloping, running, whatever you want to say. Oops. Grab that sword and knock him over. All right, and then you have the back legs that actually do move around. Tail articulates up and down. Sorry that I'm not getting everything on camera here, as this is a very large figure. I mean, he's much bigger than my Plunder Strong right here. All right, so let's take a look at everything that you're going to see on this figure. Trying to lift this up because I'm going to have to move everything around. So that sculpt looks really nice. He's black. I'm going to guess the eyes glow. We'll move this because I know I'm going to knock that off. The leather strap feels like leather, to be honest. It's rubber, but I'm assuming it's rubber. He has his medallion chain that goes around his neck. I know there's probably a proper name for it, but I don't know what it is. But the detail on it, the teeth, he looks like he's angry, not happy like Mr. Ed. The mane here, you can see the green that runs through it. So he's obviously some sort of mystical character also. You can see the hoofs look like they're going to glow in the dark, which I do believe they do. The mane all through it. Now, he looks like he's black, but he's got this green wash over him on certain parts, like his hair. It looks just amazing. But, like, if you had it just in a regular display, the green and stuff really doesn't draw away from it, other than maybe the eyes. So here's his saddle. It does look like if I wanted to, I could pop the saddle off. but it just has real nice texture. Here's a spot to throw his legs. His little whip, that's obviously when you're trying to get him to run faster. I'm assuming, I might be wrong. So yeah, even on the bottom there, it looks like they put that on there. So this is all detailed in, so it's not supposed to be cutting into them. But the detail is really nice. Paint is right where it's supposed to be. You get a little bit of clasps right there. And again, you can articulate him, and as you can see, he can kind of stand on one leg without a problem. You get the hoofs on there. Very well balanced without the figure. Now, when we put the figure on it, that's a whole nother story. Now, I was trying to look here. I'm trying to see if there's a place that I can store the sword. Because usually there's storage for everything, even if you don't notice it. But I'm not really noticing anywhere to store the sword. So let's take our Headless Horseman. Now I am kind of worried that when I try to open the legs, it's just going to kind of pop off as it did. So I'm a little disappointed in this. But again, I think I'm going to have to kind of mess around with a little bit more. And I'm kind of come back to this later on. As he does warm up and see if everything kind of stays in place, because I mean, he does have to straddle this horse fairly well. Now we're just going to kind of throw that over there. So no issues right there. I'm going to take this mane here, which I'm going to assume it goes I think it's supposed to go that way. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, because it's flowing this way. Sorry, guys. I know some of these kind of get redundant, but you're kind of learning as I am learning also. Now, he is kind of magical, so does he really need to hold this? You know what? We're just kind of wrap this around here for right now. I mean, he's magical, right? I mean, he doesn't need to hold the strap or whatever it is. Right now, he kind of has that. See, the leg's gonna. Yeah, this leg is really gonna start to bother me. So that's disappointing. But again, let me heat this thing up a little bit later. Play around this a little bit more. But look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Got him on two different pieces here. Separate mane for him, different hands. Again, not quite sure what this is, but I guess the time comes that we're going to have to do a glow-in-the-dark test, because God knows I have some figures that don't really glow in the dark all that well, even though they were meant to, and I have them charging here really well. So we're going to stop this, and when we come back, we're going to try the glow-in-the-dark test. All right, so here we go, full 4K. We're gonna see if this thing actually glows in the dark and how well it is. As you can see, I have Scare Glow up there. He glows amazing. I said he's the best glow in the dark figure like I've ever seen. The Massive Scare Glow, as you can see sitting right there, his head glows and actually glows pretty good. Boo Berry, so much glow in the dark right there, but we're gonna see what we actually get here and see if this is actually a good glow-in-the-dark figure. I mean, the figure looks amazing, but part of the reason why they supposedly did this was to get the glow-in-the-dark. So here we go, and he's been charging for quite some time, and let's take a look. And, oh, man, it's not the greatest. Now, looking through this, I really can't even see. I can see that it's glowing, and I've let him charge for quite some time. So if you look, you can see the face right there. You can see the kind of the fire right there, but I don't see the hoofs glowing in the dark, so that is very disappointing. And hell, I mean, look at this Scare Glow. He's literally just lit up. Same with the skeletons. We got the Boo. I'm sorry, you can't even see the glow-in-the-dark Super 7 figure because he's a joke. I can see looking at this, the G.I. Joe you can kind of see, but it doesn't glow in the dark. You got the head right there. And unfortunately, we can't really see Booberry because maybe he wasn't getting enough light, but he is lit up. So anyway, there they are. It's still the champions of glow in the dark. It's still these $18, $20 Masters of the Universe Origin figures. So there we go. Now we all know whether or not they glow in the dark. It does, just not the greatest. Alright, so we do have some parts that glow in the dark. I was able to kind of see the felt here. So it's the same as that Blueberry box. This actually seems to glow maybe a little bit better than the Horseman and everything. Again, you can see the head there. The eyes actually look pretty good when I move it around like this. But again, I just kind of felt that and was like, all right, I need to show you guys. Kind of look at that scary glow. I'm sorry. And it's supposed to be for something else, but it just looks so darn cool. Alright, so my final first review is I think this figure does look awesome. We've seen the promo shots. Am I disappointed that he doesn't glow in the dark all that well? I sure the hell am. $140. Four Horsemen. I am sorry. You have failed. Maybe if he sits out longer, but again, I see these $18 scare glows. It's like a neon light. Yet these other companies can't do anything. Hell, that Super 7 figure, it came with the dogs. That thing was like $80, and that thing doesn't even begin to glow. So, very disappointing there. Again, the leg came off, so that's not the greatest. But again, it does go on. The sculpt, paint, it looks awesome. Do I think it's worth $140? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to send it back, but I am going to display it. So, your choice. Alright, so there's my Headless Horseman. The figure Obscura, the one that's supposed to glow in the dark. The fan channel exclusive. And I'm disappointed. I don't think the glow in the dark is all that good. And maybe someone will tell me I'm doing something wrong. And if I am, then I will be the first one to admit that I'm doing something wrong. But again, I can look at the Masterverse Scare Glow head there. I had this light literally just pounding on it. That's what she said. For over a half hour. Because I wanted to get the best that it could. And it was shining over. And yeah, I threw that Super 7 in there. Because that thing's a piece of trash. And doesn't glow. $18, $20 Masterverse. Or I'm sorry. Motu Origin figures. Glow fine. The Blueberry was kind of far away. That usually glows pretty well, but you can see everything else that glows from that whole packaging. So anyway, it's up to you. $140. It's expensive, but it does look amazing. So I'm not taking anything away from the sculpt and the paint and everything that they do there, especially the horse. But $140, and you said it's going to glow in the dark, and technically you didn't lie like the Super 7 figure, but it's still, I look at a $20 Mattel figure, and I go, why can this thing glow in the dark so well? But other companies just can't get it. So anyway, I am going to get out of here. I'm not going to continue my rant on this. Again, if you're on social medias, check me out. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, A Punk with Toys. And yes, I said Twitter. I'm not going to call it X because that's stupid. The Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. And last but not least, if you like the content that I've been giving you, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a video. It doesn't always have to be classified, and even sometimes you'll hear Roman in the back there, but I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. Up here, I'm going to drop one of my Mythic Legion figures that I did a review on, and down here will be the playlist of all the Four Horsemen stuff that I've done. Take care.